And what I always say to South Africans is this. You're told that Jan Van Riebeck is the first person to come and settle in 1652. No, it's not true. It was actually the Portuguese in 1485. Bartholomew Dias landed in Cape Town. He tried to discover Cape Town in line with this decree that was given by the Pope, and the Khoisan fought him. They fought him on 3 occasions. The first occasion was Bartholomew Dias. The second occasion was Vasco da Gama, and the last time
Vasco was also Portuguese.
Vasco was also Portuguese. Sure. And the last time was in 1509 when they defeated de Almeida, another Portuguese coming from conquering India. They came back and they said, let's finish what Bartholomew failed to finish. Sure. Got there, the Khoisan remembered these guys. And part of the European law was that when you discover a piece of land, you put a cross, which was called a padrao. And once you've established your padrao, you need to then make sure that you begin to build European settlements in the area. They tried to put a padrao when they landed there with de Almeida, who was a military man coming from conquering India, and they had a fight with the Khoisan. De Almeida was killed in that war, together with a number of other men. They left and never tried to settle South Africa again because they got defeated.
Let's shout out to the Khoisan, by the way.
Shout out to the Khoisan, but this is where it gets interesting. So the Khoisan defeat the Portuguese, 1509. Then, by 1590, we begin to have the next writings on white Europeans coming again to Cape Town. This time it was the VOC, which is the Dutch East India Company, sure. But it was in cahoots with the East India Company of England. They landed in 1592, and they began to trade with the Khoisan. Sure. What we hear is that between this period, 1592 and 1652, 2,200 ships landed at Cape Town, and they were trading and refilling at Cape Town. We understand that the Dutch, the English, and others had begun to leave their people in the colony of Cape Town, where they were buying and trading with the Khoisan, the Xhosas, and some Zulu people who had migrated to that area. They were trading. They left ambassadors. They left seeds. They left fruits so that they could come and refill. They were taking cows. They were taking sheep. They were taking goats from this area and using that to victual their ship or to supply their ships.
I guess it's shout outs to the guys who came with a different model, because I'm guessing the Khoisan probably were resistant. But someone there was like, no, we're actually here to trade with you guys. And they tried a different model to begin getting people to
even at the beginning, the first landing with Bartholomew Dias.
Sure.
In his books, he writes about the fact that there were dark-skinned people on shore. And they were light-skinned, dark people on shore. That's why they called the very first place that they saw, they called it Dosh van Quirosh, which was to say black man's land or something to that effect in Old Portuguese. So what then happened is they did get on, Bartholomew Dias landed, and they traded with the Khoisan.
Okay.
The problem came when they were trying to take water without permission. And the Khoisan asked, why are you taking the water without asking?
Sure.
To establish that there was already a property rights understanding among the Xhosa people, the Khoisan people. But who were the dark-skinned people? Those were Xhosa people, together with the Khoisan living in the same area.
Sure.
It's when they tried to take the water without permission that they fought. In the same way that when Vasco da Gama came and landed, they wanted to trade with the Khoisan. In that trading, there was someone who got stabbed because the Khoisan are saying they tried to cheat them out of their cattle. And they also wanted them to explain why during the Bartholomew Dias visit, they had ended up killing one of the Khoisan people after being challenged about using the water.
Sure.
So trade was already an established issue, together with asking for permission.
Okay.
So this notion that the Boers always have that there was no one occupying this land, there were people occupying this land and they were possessive. And the Europeans who came, the VOC, they knew that. They had read it in the Portuguese text. They had experienced that the Khoisan were not going to tolerate people trying to tell them how to do things. So they came in 1592 and started trading. And they traded for close to 60 years with these people. They established diplomatic relations. There were Xhosa people and Khoisan people who spoke Dutch, and Dutch people who spoke Khoisan and Xhosa. And this was what is happening in the Cape between 1592 and 1652. There was
The
trade.
important dates: 1543,
We start with 1485.
14.
85.
That's Bartholomew.
Yes.
1485.
85. Then we go to 1496.
1496.
That is Vasco da Gama.
Okay.
Then we come D. Almeida, 1509.
1509.
And then we have a very huge gap
Sure.
where we don't know what was happening, but we know that Dutch ships were passing.
Sure.
But then we start having writings that start talking about 1592.
1592.
With the Dutch East India Company landing together with the English East India Company. They landed a ship that was being thingied by both of them. And they traded.
Thank you.
And the trade was established. And 2,200 ships landed at Cape Town
Sure.
and traded for 60 years.